Hello, so this is going to be a video on what you can use a gas mask or respirator for that's actually practical and good for everyday things. So what this video sort of was inspired by, I was watching one of WeaponCollector's streams the other day, but by the time you see the video it won't be the other day. And we started talking about practical things you could use a gas mask for, because he has an old Finnish gas mask. The filter's long since expired, but it would still offer particulate protection. So we were talking about, you could use it for sanding and stuff like that. So what I thought I'd do in this video is come up with a practical list of things you can use a gas mask for. That's not like chemical warfare kind of use and stuff like that. Now, obviously, what I'm going to do in the video is I'm going to assume that you have an in-date filter, because I'm going to cover a load of things that would require a charcoal filter as well as particulate filters. So the stuff that's covered by the particulate filter will work even if your filter's expired. If it's something that requires a carbon filter, obviously you'll need an in-date carbon filter for it to still work. So, as we said in WeaponCollector's stream, obviously having filters for dust, doing like grinding or sanding, anything like that. So it works better than a dust mask, because obviously the filter will stop all the dust getting in. You also don't need the safety goggles on, because these will be your safety goggles, so sparks and bits of sawdust and things aren't going to hit you in your eyes. So if you're grinding metal or doing anything like that, that would be very practical actually with a mask like this. You could do all your sanding and grinding, and this will protect both your eyes and your lungs. Another thing I thought similar to that is if you're doing dusting around the house and you have a dust allergy, you can wear the mask and the dust's not going to upset you. Same sort of thing as if you went into a loft and you had insulation in there, you had to move around like fiberglass, nasty stuff. Not as bad as asbestos, but you definitely don't want to inhale it. When you're messing about with fiberglass, put a good particulate filter on the mask and you're good to go. Similarly, this is where you would need a charcoal filter if you're handling household chemicals that make you feel a bit faint, so if you're spray painting and the fumes are getting to you a bit, you're working with petrol or something and the fumes are getting to you, or you're just using a lot of household cleaners and that's gotta get you a bit, then a mask would be very practical for that. Obviously you do need the charcoal for that to absorb the chemicals that come off of those sort of things. But this is the interesting thing of masks, there's lots of practical uses. If you're handling hay and straw, and there's lots of dust coming off of that, some of it can actually be quite bad for your lungs, and obviously a mask will protect you from the spores and all the stuff that comes off the straw and the hay, and that won't set any allergies off either. If you get bad hay fever and you want to go out in the summer, obviously you might look a bit weird, but you could put a gas mask on. For that a half face mask might actually be good, but if the pollen irritates your eyes then you would need a full face mask. Similarly, if you're around people that have colds and flu and you don't want to catch it, then you're protecting yourself from the airborne virus by wearing a mask like this. As I said, some of these things aren't really practical, but the video idea is kind of just like everyday things you could use a mask for. But as I was saying, the way masks are really practical is if you're working with chemicals in your house which might make you feel lightheaded, like industrial chemicals for whatever reason, or if you are actually, doing some sort of work, sort of sanding wood, grinding metal, maybe sharpening knives or something, using a bench grinder, something like that, where the sparks and, you got a lot of stuff coming off that you don't want to inhale or get in your eyes, then a mask is perfect for that. As we were saying in the stream, actual dust masks are really impractical. You should never use them because they won't properly protect you because they don't make a good face seal. You actually, for them to be legal for use in the UK in workplaces, dust masks have to have the two straps there and the two straps go up there. If you've got a dust mask that only has like one elastic band at the back, it's definitely not safe for work. So, as was mentioned, what you want to do is get ideally if you've got a filter that can do both vapour and particulates, that's great. If you just want it for dust and sanding and all stuff like that, then get a P3 filter. You can buy P3 filters for 40mm masks for like £5 or £6. They're very cheap and they'll last ages. I'll just show you what one looks like. So that's a P3 filter. You could buy these on Amazon at one point. I think you still can for £5 or £6. So obviously that just screws on like a regular filter does. Probably screwing that the wrong way, are we? Probably help if I put my other filter down first, so I can do that with two hands. So is this one threaded to the right or thread to the left? There we go, left. So, very easy to breathe through a particulate filter like this. But this particulate filter is obviously it's P3, so it's good for asbestos. Any kind of spore type things or dust this filter will block. This filter doesn't block odours because it's only a particulate filter. You need the charcoal for that. Most CBRN and NBC filters block both vapours and their P3 level filters because they're designed for use in bacteriological warfare. So expired filters, even if they no longer work against you know, gas vapours, will still protect you from dust and everything like that. But yeah, buying a surplus mask, funnily enough, is actually a lot cheaper than often buying a like proper painted decorator kind of 3M mask, although I do have some 3M masks, and these things will work just as well. You've got the included eye protection on masks like this as well, which is very good. So there you go, hopefully that's given you something to think over, but it's all the sort of funny, practical, everyday uses you can get out of a regular gas mask rather than, you know, like all the actual more far-reaching chemical weapons type things, because yes, you can use a mask like this, for example, for just sanding down wood, mowing the grass and things like that to stop you inhaling the dust. So there you go.